They say déjà vu is just a glitch in your brain, a false memory. But what if the place you remember remembers you too? My name is Ryan, and when I was 17 years old, I followed my brother deep into the woods. What we found there was a house I had never been to, but somehow remembered in terrifying detail. And the thing waiting inside still haunts me to this day. The story. I grew up in a quiet town, the kind of place where people lock their doors at sunset and kids whisper ghost stories around campfires. The biggest legend was about a trail that wound deep into the forest. Supposedly, if you followed it far enough, you'd stumble across old ruins. And even an abandoned house. Nobody really believed it. It was just a dare, a story to spook kids. But one cold October afternoon, my brother Chris, who was 19 at the time, wanted to prove it was real. He dragged me along. At first, it was just trees and crunching leaves. But the deeper we went, the heavier my stomach felt, because I started to recognize things. A broken fence post leaning sideways, a hollow tree with a hole big enough for a child to crawl through, a rotting log that looked like a twisted animal. I shouldn't have known any of it. I had never been there, but I knew what came next, and I hated myself for it, because in my head I saw a house, 2 stories, faded green paint, a broken step on the porch, and vines crawling up the side like veins on rotting skin. And then we found it, exactly as I remembered. Chris grinned like he'd discovered buried treasure. I wanted to turn back, but he pushed the door open. Inside, the air felt wrong, thick, heavy, like the whole house was holding its breath. The wallpaper was peeling in long strips. Furniture sat broken and forgotten. A fireplace was choked with ashes, and at the very end of a long, narrow hallway, one door was closed. Chris was thrilled. "This is awesome," he whispered. I could barely speak, because without meaning to, I said something that made my blood run cold the second it left my mouth. I remember this place, and I remember a woman upstairs. Chris laughed. "Oh, sure, you remember it." But then the ceiling above us groaned, a long, slow creak of footsteps. We froze. There was someone up there. Chris, being Chris, forced me into a quick game of rock, paper, scissors to decide who would check. I lost, but I refused to go. So he went, slowly climbing the staircase that screamed under his weight. I followed halfway. My chest was tight, my legs were trembling, I couldn't breathe. He reached the final door at the end of the hallway upstairs, the one cracked open just an inch. With shaking hands, he pushed it wider, and then I'll never forget his face. His jaw dropped, his skin drained of color, his eyes widened like he was staring straight into death itself. Then he screamed, "Run!" He shoved me so hard I nearly tumbled down the stairs. We tore through the woods like hunted animals, lungs on fire, branches whipping at our skin. When we finally collapsed miles away from the house, I demanded to know what he saw. His voice shook when he answered. There was a woman standing at the window, perfectly still, just watching. I asked what she looked like. He swallowed hard. Shoulder-length gray blonde hair, pale skin, and the way she stared, like she'd been waiting for us. The thing is, I already knew that, because I remembered her, but I still don't know how.